Would you like to talk about the Avengers game?
Yes, I would much rather talk about the Avengers game because I am well versed in that.
Good. I don't remember Modok being in the trailer.
Uh,
Oh, there's a second trailer. I didn't see this trailer,
yeah.
I guess.
So there, it was weird the way they did. So they did like a big gameplay stream, and then they released like a 7-minute gameplay footage, 7 minutes of gameplay footage. Then they did like more comprehend. I think this was just the stream though, a more comprehensive half-hour overview, and then they did like 2 trailers, one focusing on the single player story campaign, and the other focusing on their multiplayer campaign. And at the end of the single player campaign trailer, it was revealed that Modok is the main villain of the game.
Wow.
So happy because Modok is the best.
Is he now?
Yes.
Okay.
Just look at him. That's all you got to do.
Crystal Dynamics offered a new look at Marvel's Avengers, the upcoming single-player and cooperative action adventure game, on Wednesday during its War Table live stream. Here's what we learned. Modok is the big bad. We've seen a few Marvel villains like the Abomination and Taskmaster in gameplay snippets from Marvel's Avengers. Players will also battle hundreds of mechanized soldiers and robots built by AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, which deploys its creations under the guise of security after the Avengers disband. At the head of AIM is George Tarleton, better known as Modok, aka the mechanized organism designed only for killing.
He was originally called Modok, mechanized organism designed only for computing. And then something went wrong.
Oh, and they switched it to a K.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dumb. So is George Tarleton like his human alter ego?
Yeah.
I didn't know he had a human alter ego.
He did at one point.
Is this his origin story?
It looks like for this particular universe, it might be.
I thought he was an alien or something.
No. He's a mechanized organism designed only for killing.
Is he from Earth?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Ms. Marvel has an encounter with Tarleton in a new story trailer. You can watch it above, released during the War Table live stream, which apparently kicks off Kamala Khan's journey to reunite the fractured Avengers. More story insight from Thor's hero mission, Once an Avenger. In what appears to be an early mission, they played this 7-minute video, which is what I saw. Thor returns dressed as his alter ego, Donald Blake. It just looks like Thor in a t-shirt.
Yep.
To help the Avengers take on AIM threat and prevent the crash of the helicarrier known as the Chimera. Thor teams up with Hulk, Iron Man, Ms. Marvel, Black Widow as Modok taunts them. Modok accuses Thor of being responsible for Captain America's death in the game. Oh, that's right. Captain America's dead. Hero missions in Crystal Dynamics name for story-based single-player missions. Hero missions is Crystal Dynamics name for story. Okay. And will move the story-based campaign forward. This particular hero mission showcases Thor's melee and ranged abilities as well as his ultimate, in which he summons the Bifrost to break through enemy shields. There's also co-op war zones. I did not see this.
Yeah, this is the other trailer they showed. So war zones are repeatable cooperative missions that take place in a wide open spaces and dense interiors where players will take their customizable Avengers out for a spin. Each hero in the Avengers has dozens of unlockable cosmetic outfits, some of which can be earned by completing missions and objectives, and some of which sorry, I literally just lost my spot. Some of which will only be available through an in-game marketplace. Those outfits draw inspiration from classic comic books and the Marvel Cinematic Universe designs. Unlockable powers and gear also draw from various Marvel universes. Black Widow has her Widow's Bite, while Thor can charge up his teammates with his lightning-based powers. So this is a completely separate mode from the single-player campaign. You don't go through the main story of the game in co-op. These are separate missions that you do with your buddy on off hours, basically.
So I heard that people were comparing this to Destiny.
Yeah.
They were saying this is like a Avengers Destiny. And that's interesting. That's an interesting, weird thing to add to the game. I was not expecting a co-op, like, event-based like aspect to the game. Also, bearded Hulk. What's up with that?
That's a thing.
Very strange. This whole game looks very strange.
It is weird because it looks like a big ass hodgepodge of a lot of things. It doesn't look like a cheap game. They're throwing money at this thing. There's a lot in like every like piece of footage they release just has more and more stuff to it. But it's like, from what I played at not San Diego, God, I wish. What I played at New York Comic Con last year, played like a linear Souls type game where you have to like carefully dodge out of the way and you have to like, attack enemies through melee combat with some flying things here and there if you're Thor or Iron Man. And that's what like the main game looks like. This showed it to be a little bit more open because at New York Comic Con it was much more linear, but this looks like it was more open and you can like go around the whole map if you needed to. And then the multiplayer stuff is completely separate and entirely customizable. And the story looks like dense and, labyrinthian, I guess you could say, with like a lot of twists and turns and stuff. Because like there's a new character every release trailer.
I'm interested in the story. The story looks really cool.
Yeah.
To me, it looks like a movie game. It's not to say that it's characters from the movie, but it looks like a movie game in the sense that it doesn't look like a good game. Like it looks like there's some things that are like off. Like the voice acting is like misplaced. It's like
so
there's just a lot of weird and like it just looks like uninspired, like the enemies are just enemies. The audio design is just everything's at an 11 the whole time, so nothing feels impactful.
Yeah,
during the whole trailer,
it's weird. I'll be honest. To me, it does look better every time they release something new.
Well, that's good.
So, like the EA reveal, the E3 reveal, just looked terrible. Just straight up terrible.
Yeah, that was not good.
The behind closed doors gameplay footage I saw didn't look any better. New York Comic Con, they let you play the behind closed doors footage, and it played a lot better than it looked. And even though it looked a lot better than it did at E3, and then this stuff looks even better than that. Like it looks more polished and it looks more, more like an actual video game. But it's still stuck in this weird state of, clearly we're referencing the movies because that's what most people know, but they can't really look like the actors or the character designs from the movies. So it's like a cheap knockoff version of that. And it sucks that it's like stuck in that like limbo state because you look at, the Arkham games or Insomniac Spider-Man games, like those found ways to just make their own versions of Batman and Spider-Man, and they look fine.
That's what I think of. I think of Insomniac Spider-Man and how this is just not. It doesn't feel like it's that at all. It feels like that's what they should be going for, and instead they're going. It looks like they're going for like just a movie game tie-in, and it doesn't. It feels like something's off.
Yeah. And, I hope I'm wrong because, I mean, this is a game that should have come out in 2012 when the first Avengers movie came out. But I guess it's glad that we waited all this time. And Crystal Dynamics is a really good developer. Their Tomb Raider games are amazing. But, I don't know.
Yeah, so, like, I think of, Spider-Man and how that's like a big, grandiose experience, but also the Arkham games, the Batman Arkham games. Those are much smaller. Like, I mean, they're still big games, but I mean, it's not like there's like a universal impending doom in those games. It's still
Yeah.
it's just Gotham and Arkham, you know?
And I don't necessarily think that Avengers should be like a big open world game. I think having more level by level structure for the Avengers works better.
Mhm.
Not to say you can't make those levels big and expansive and exploratory, you can, but just the way that Arkham and Spider-Man approached the source material and reinterpreted them through their lens to still be faithful but still be their own unique thing. I think that's what comic book video games going forward should really strive for, instead of this weird half measure where it's our own thing, but hey, remember the movies? It's that too, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they're not paving their own. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing, is that the story is very unique compared to, the movies and any other games that they have. But
I
they didn't really take the opportunity to make a unique style.
Yeah. I also think it doesn't help that, the Avengers is, pretty much anybody in the Marvel universe, but for the game, they're just using, the main like 5 members from the movies plus Kamala Khan,
Right.
who, I know Marvel wants to start like introducing her more into the mainstream, but to use other characters, use Ant-Man, use Kate Bishop, use Spider-Man if you can.
That I think that there's going to be a Spider-Man tie-in, like like an after credits or like a late game thing, which would be awesome to have that type of expanded universe in video games. But
Yeah.
it's a little different. Like like Marvel, the Marvel movies are like a 1 in a million thing. It's like amazing that worked. Having all these different directors make movies and then have them feel like a cohesive experience.
Yeah.
Having all these different game developers make games and having that feel like a cohesive experience, that's going to be way harder.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have Sony making Spider-Man games, you have Square Enix making an Avengers game, and then don't forget you had Nintendo last year technically make their own Avengers game with Ultimate Alliance. So you have all these different like versions clashing with each other.
And we have Kyle Luang with $2 who says, will sell more than Ultimate Alliance? I'm going to say if it reviews well, no. Mostly because it's on multiple platforms.
He's asking if it will sell more than Ultimate Alliance.
Yes, he's asking us if it will.
Yeah, and you said no.
I'm going to say if it reviews well, no, because Ultimate Alliance was only on the Switch, and this game will be on multiple platforms.
So you don't think Avengers will sell more?
Oh, I do think it will sell more.
Okay.
I think that this Avengers game, will sell more than Ultimate Alliance 3 because that game was only on the Switch, and this game is on at least 2 platforms.
I am with you there. I also think that it's possible, even if the game doesn't review well, it will sell more than Ultimate Alliance because it's on multiple platforms and because, just the name brand alone, Marvel's Avengers, like that still has a lot of clout, in this day and age, because like Avengers is the biggest movie franchise in the world right now. Right. If you see a video game version of that, you're going to be curious about it.
Yeah, I know a guy who used to only play movie games because he's like, I just want to be Iron Man. So he would play the Iron Man game and be like, this is okay.
Yeah, it's no way to live.
Anyway, that's all I got to say about Avengers. I'll give it a shot. I hope there's a demo. I'm scared for it. I don't think it looks like it's going to be that great.
I saw something like there's a beta coming to PS4.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And it will be playable on PS5 and Series X, and those who purchase it on PS4 or Xbox One will be able to get the next gen version for free.